Good evening and welcome to Jackal Garage. We're doing last minute camera adjustments.
Yeah, I just realized how far back the camera. Well, yeah. Hey guys, how everybody doing? I'm back. Look, I'm alive. I'm alive.
Hey, Jeff is still around. Greg
I'm,
has joined us. Good evening,
woohoo.
Greg. So, yes, you're back. The wedding is over. It was a big
Yes,
success. So, you're kind
yes.
of coming into your own.
I'm
Jonathan has joined us.
I'm back. I have internet. I have power. Um, I am. I have a project to work on, so I'm good to go.
Awesome,
It's
awesome.
been a whirlwind around here with weddings and birthdays and grandkids, and so it's been crazy.
And then you got Halloween coming up.
Yeah. Halloween is occupying time. I gotta dress up as a werewolf
That
for
won't
this
be hard.
because we're instead of going trick or treating, we're basically having a party at my middle daughter's apartment, and I'll be giving out candy for my grandkids at this apartment, and then taking them upstairs, and then every room in the apartment will be a different stop for candy.
Sweet.
So that should be
Um,
kind of fun.
Greg has had a couple bean burritos earlier, so he's ready for some Gaslands, and not in a good way.
They say it's good, Dave, that Facebook and social media is a really good way to reconnect with old friends, and Greg would be the exception to that rule.
Good
I
evening,
don't mean that, Greg. You know I love you, buddy.
Raymond and David. Good evening. Everyone's kind of here. So, want to get into some pictures and show off some cool cars?
Pitches. I got
Pi-
pitches.
You got
I
pictures.
got
So,
pitches.
these
Well,
are
well,
cars.
first set I should have shown last week, but just before the show, as you probably told them, I lost power.
You had
Every
a power
every
outage.
everything went boom. You have to let me in. There we go.
There you go.
These were supposed to be shown last week on the 19th. These are This is Tim's. I'm calling it a Sonic hearse.
That's fine. Sonic. I like that name.
Yeah, it's a really nice kit, and he's done some really intricate modeling and wiring. There's the engine. That's really, really good work. I really like it.
Yeah, so he's running that with the like the big speakers like you saw in Mad Max Fury Road, and how they had those speakers and the guys playing guitars. That's a special weapon in the game. It causes people to get hazard tokens, so it's
Ooh, I like it.
kind of a cool little thing.
I like it a lot.
I like it.
It looks really good.
Yeah, I like how it turned out.
Yep. Like I just assumed until you mentioned earlier that how, because I just thought, wow, that's a hearse, and that's why I call it the Sonic hearse.
There you go.
And then here's his ice cream truck.
Yes, ice cream truck. It's I think he's calling it the ice cream truck or something
Ice
like
cream truck. There we go.
that.
That's cool.
Greg wants you to pull his finger. Good
Oh,
evening, Jonathan. Thank you for joining us, buddy.
yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, that looks really cool. I like that whole thing. Really nice work there.
Just cool. And again, the ice cream truck has irritating jingle as a special rule. It's just kind of funny. So
Well, it looks really cool.
yeah.
Then the only other one I have are the projects you and I have been working on.
Okay. Oh, so
Which
that is
that's
Darren's
related.
car. Yeah.
What is that sitting on top of, if I might ask?
That is a so you knew I used to be a gunsmith, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a pin block. So
Okay.
you can see. I don't know if you can see me on camera. It's got
Ah, okay. Yeah,
it's got
yeah.
a bunch of small holes in it. So what I'd used to do is I'd lay the guns I was working on across that, and I could take my hammer and my pin and just drive the pin out, and it would just push it through and drop
Yep.
to the table.
Yep.
So,
Okay. Yep. Nope. I get it.
but it's very fitting for gas lines, like for
Yeah.
taking photos. I use it for a bunch of stuff on my desk.
Well,
Uh,
this came out
yeah.
really, really nice.
So that was the experiment we did last week with using contrast paint over a silver base. So the car was sprayed with gun bolter silver,
Right.
and then I just layered on thin coats of contrast paint, really thin down, and then I glossed it all up. So
Yeah.
that's
And then
kind
you
of
got
how
the
it.
Outpost logo back there in the trunk.
Yeah. So and this is all for Darren. So I figure I like I didn't go crazy with it. I kept it simple. Just added that tube down the top there of the engine compartment to
Yeah.
represent a gun. So that's it. And then I just kind of painted it all. I went with the flat black fenders, which is a modern touch, mixing flat black with glossy paint. So a
I
little
like it.
modern touches. So yeah, I was happy with it.
And I even said in my text when you actually sent it to me that I like the fact that you've come across from the dark side, feeling you have to massively weather everything. This is actually really, really cool.
Well, thank you. Yeah,
I
I'm
like it. I
happy with
like it
it.
a lot.
I'm real happy with how it turned out.
And now because I haven't had a chance to work on anything seriously in a while, besides a couple commission projects, this is what I'm working on. What way we are doing the show tonight? Ta-da!
Dooley dooley.
I'm finishing up the dynamic dually. I'll be doing the machine guns, the skull, and the wheels.
All right.
Hopefully, I'll have this thing finished up tonight because, as you know, I came up with another project. You had done the Big Air Bel Air,
Yes.
right?
Yes, I
And
did.
so, which always, because I thought it was gorgeous. But it inspires me, just like with the Erikenstein, to go, what can I do differently with the same car that both you and Tim have already converted?
Okay.
So this is a mock-up. The dynamic dually, Greg. That's what I'm calling it. The dynamic dually. This is my mock-up for my next project. So I've got a long way to go on it, but this is what it should roughly look like when it's all said and done.
And go.
There it is.
Look at that. That is just. I love what you did with the front ram, adding that like saw blade look to it, and then popping in the dual hood scoops. Just awesome. What are you gonna call it? You can't call it Dooley Dooley.
No, I can't call it dynamic dually, but I'll come up with some kind of, sedan saw blade related name. And I may change this saw blade because in my original concept, it went all the way back to the windshield.
Yeah, kind of like
down.
a mohawk.
Yeah, kind of like that. But I had to cut the front bumper off, the front grill area off. And then back here, that's an actual spare gas can sticking out of that hole in the trunk that you put in a mortar or a smoke launcher or something.
Whatever I want it to be.
I've decided, well, I didn't say this earlier because initially I told you I was thinking about putting the machine gun sticking out the back, but this is how my brain worked, just sitting right here. Wouldn't it be cool to have a guy's head sticking out of there, just looking out the back? Ready to do something. I don't know what. There's a whole lot of ideas, but that right now is that metal body sitting in the citrus strip, ready to begin its project once I get done with the dually.
I really think you need to put a head sticking out of that hole.
You like that idea, do you?
Like, because that trunk is so big on the Big Air Bel Air, like,
yeah,
you could have someone back there.
Yeah.
And then when they're ready to shoot, they can just duck back, put their hand out, and start shooting.
Again. So, yeah.
And there's no rear view mirror. There's no rear view mirror on that thing, so someone needs to tell them how to go backwards.
I could also just have an arm sticking out with a big grenade in it.
I love
something.
it.
I haven't figured it out yet, but I'll come up with something. But that's the project I'll start next week. Greg wants me to mount guys' heads on the saw blades.
Greg is a pretty twisted man. Like when I'm working on the little orc vehicle, he wanted me to put all kinds of bodies hanging off of it and stuff.
All I can say to that is when we talked about Greg, you were warned.
He adds a lot of entertainment to the day.
Greg's a great. He does actually. I have not run into anybody to play when we would play 40K or fantasy that is more fun to play. He's just always upbeat. Yeah, always great guy.
Well, I've got three
Even with the fart
projects on
jokes,
the table. What's that? I'm sorry.
even with
Tater.
his fart jokes, he's still a great guy.
That's all good. It's all good. I've got three projects on the table, so I'm going to switch cameras
Okay,
and show you kind of where I'm at on some of my projects.
it's been so long since I've actually done this. I started to go, wait, I got to switch cameras first. So.
First, I've got the Michigan car that I'm working on. Let me zoom in on this. So this is just going to be the crazy engine in the back. I did a yellow paint job and got it washed with some of the Gastoria yellow wash or whatever shade stuff this is from GW. So this just needs to get painted up. I need to paint the rims up, paint the interior up, and this guy's done. But I like the yellow with the splash of blue right there. I think that really makes it stand out. So that's kind of cool. We're also still working on the Mustang. We started working on this last week.
Yeah.
We chopped up everything here. So tonight what I want to do is get an axle mounted in the front, get the front wheels on, get my stance in place. And then once that's done, I can start diving into getting the car painted and get this one ready to roll. But first, we need to catch up on my Orc vehicle. So I got all my parts painted up. So I just need to get this stuff, or I got them primed up. So I need to get that painted and get it mounted.
That's going to be so cool.
And then I got the little carriage, the little driver's compartment, cockpit. Yeah. It's all, got paint on it. So I need to mount a couple tubes in the front to represent machine guns. I'm like all over the camera today. Get some tubes in the front to represent.
Finger, buddy.
I know. Just to represent machine guns, and then just start painting. So I'll probably have this done this week. I don't know if I'll get it done tonight, but I want to get the stuff all painted up so I can start mounting everything.
Yeah.
Sidecar. Yeah, it's a sidecar to a big wheel. So yeah, that's kind of where that's at.
Yeah.
But before we get started, I kind of want to show off some cars.
Oh no. Well, I'm going to start working.
Okay. Well, I just want to talk a little bit about some of the Matchbox cars I recently found.
What?
Yeah.
You went shopping for Matchbox cars?
Shocking, isn't it?
It's just.
I found this cool milk truck, and this is one of the more. It's kind of a premium Matchbox car because it has moving parts.
Ooh.
And on this particular car, the back doors actually open and close. And you can see them there. Yeah. So I picked this up because I thought it would be kind of cool as a Gaslands car, obviously, because I'll have doors that I can open in the back, and I can mount like a bazooka back there or a big gun inside the cat, and then just open the doors and shoot people with it. So I just kind of had this weird idea in my head, so I picked that up. Just having a little bit of fun. Good evening, Steve. How are you, buddy? Also, Matchbox puts cars out in boxes. Have you ever seen these around?
Yep. That was the only way I bought them when I was a kid. They had a really nice display, and then you'd read there was a 3-digit code, an alphanumeric number, and then an actual number. It's like C32. Whichever slot it was in the display, and then the owner of the drugstore where I bought my Matchbox cars would go back and pull one out and bring it to me.
Oh, sweet.
Yep.
Well, I found some neat ones. Nothing too exciting. I found a tractor because it's a tractor. So I thought that was cool. I found another one of the trailers that I like, and then I found this cool like bulldozer tow truck looking thing. So it's just kind of neat. But those are finding them in boxes is kind of cool, but the one that I'm excited about is I found 2 of the 33 Ford Coupes.
Ooh!
Now these, considering it's called Matchbox, not surprising. Of course, great. I don't see a lot of them in the boxes though. I see most of them in the blisters. But these, I just was like super excited about because in Gaslands, a lot of people get We've got the Bone Shaker, and we got the Mod Rod and the Erkenstein. So they got some really cool kind of hot rod cars.
Right.
But, Matchbox doesn't have a lot of hot rods. But these, I think, look awesome.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
And this has got the little eyeballs. What is that? The Moody Racing eyeballs or whatever
Right.
on them. It's a nice bright yellow. But I'm like, this is going to make a great Gaslands conversion.
Yeah, it looks like it.
So, and this one's just a different color. Same car, just a different color.
Right.
So, anywho, so if you're out and about, take a closer look at some of those Matchbox cars out there. Because they do have some race cars. And again, these will still be great. I'm thinking I might cut this back trunk out and mount a dude back there with some guns. That could be a little bit of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do some conversion stuff on it. Maybe get some big pipes coming out the side or something. So we'll figure something out. So I'm just going to put that in my pile of things to do, which is ever growing. Yeah, I really like the yellow on that. It just pops. So I might, if I can cut this out without damaging the yellow, I may just matte coat this and then just leave it like that. So it's kind of cool, and then paint up the grill and stuff. But neat car. So when you're out and about, just take a look around. You'll be amazed at the things you can find out there. So now we're gonna get to working on this.
Worky.
I got some alligator clips.
Right.
And I glued them to my nails that have rare earth magnets on them.
Right.
So that way, when I put it on my metal thing, it just stays in place.
There you go.
So, being creative.
Look at you.
It happens every once in a while. It doesn't happen often, but every once in a while. So is anybody working on any Gaslands cars tonight, or are we working on any, are we painting orc models? What are people doing tonight? I know Steve's probably working.
Yes. I'm actually weathering up these tires a little bit.
Ooh, and if Jonathan's still with us, I'm sure he's probably working on his Warlord Titan.
It's Titan.
Did you see that picture he sent?
Yeah, I got it already queued up for Wednesday's show.
Sweet.
It's already in the queue.
In the queue.
I'm really trying to, when those pictures arrive or I get to notice about them, I try to get them put into the appropriate file and then, so I'm not running around before the show.
Oh, great. I'm just watching the Masters at work. All right.
He is sanding wooden plinths.
That would be our buddy working on his Warlord.
Yeah, it's under his painting handle.
His paint name. I like that.
I just hope nothing happens to his heel while he's painting with that name Achilleo or whatever it is.
Mostly finished with Ragnar model for my dad and working on. Oh, you're doing Gazgul. Sweet for Will. Computer at work is having some issues, so I'm watching you guys on my phone. Lagging bad. Sorry, buddy.
Well, enjoy that Gazgul. I'm up to 5, having painted 5 now. So,
and being the orc guy that I am, I've painted none.
Yeah, when you started talking about October, I kind of thought that was going to be your go-to model.
Well, but I wanted to get that. I still want to get that Stampa done.
No, I understand. I am planning on this week, in the evenings after I do my commission work for the day, of really starting to crank on that orc. I want to have it done by Saturday. So.
Well, you have higher aspirations than me.
Well, I want to have it done, and this is the reason why I'm motivated right now, because it's Oktoberfest.
Sure.
If I don't have it done just because of the workload I have, it will get put back again.
Right.
And I don't want to let it. I don't want to let it set any longer. Does that make sense?
Yep. No, I got you.
So I'll be pulling, and I have had a bout of insomnia, and I don't know why as of late. So I'm been staying up late painting every night because
Steve, we appreciate you showing up and supporting us, buddy.
yes, we do. Yeah, I haven't been falling asleep until between 3 and 4 in the morning, and then I'm back up at 7.
That's not good.
Yeah, it's not something you can really run with for a long period of time.
You can do it for like a day or two, but after that, it's.
Well, so far, pretty much most of last week was like that.
Oh, you had some stress going on though last week.
Yeah,
so.
well, yes, that's my life, dude. I always got stress.
Yeah. So I got pretty sloppy with the paint on this.
If there's, huh?
Well, the primer that I used didn't hold very well because I had to brush on the primer so I didn't get it over the wheel.
Right.
And it kind of chipped off. So
it
was Vallejo, but I don't know, just didn't hold well.
I was getting ready to say that if there's a bright, I'm going to quote Star Wars here. But if there's a bright spot in the galaxy, my life some days is the place that's farthest from.
Oh no!
It's just, oh my God, give me a break, people.
So I'm just gonna clean off because it's just a rubber wheel, so that paint shouldn't stick to the rubber wheel. So I'll just take a little thinner and clean off the wheels. That's why I wasn't too terribly concerned about it. I'm more disappointed that primer didn't hold.
I've had a couple times on the metal bodies that I've hit with primer, and then masked them. That the masking tape is pulled. That I have literally set with a soapy bowl of water and just scrubbed the heck out of these.
I did that a couple weeks ago. Couldn't sleep for shit.
I'm having a similar experience with World of Tank Blitz, Greg, where if I'm not painting when I can't sleep, I'm playing World of Tank Blitz, which has actually been really helpful. I've gotten a couple premium tanks based on what's going on contest wise on the game. Okay, what color? Where is it at? Goodness.
Yes, the best.
Had an interesting Saturday morning, the day of the wedding, which I don't think I told you about.
We really haven't talked a whole lot since.
Yeah, we haven't actually. We've texted a little bit, but
you've been super busy.
Yeah, I play World of Tank Blitz on the PC as well, Greg. Saturday morning, the morning of the wedding, my buddy Greg Rothhauser, who is a friend of mine from GW, real good friend. All my kids call him Uncle Greg. I haven't seen him in a while and haven't met his new girlfriend, who she's fantastic. But we're sitting in the out in the park here in the complex, eating breakfast, just talking, getting caught up. And we were talking about the apartment complex, and I said, "Yeah, I agree. It's really kind of a nice little complex. Not a lot of noise, not a lot of problems." And literally, with probably less than a minute after I say that, this family comes flying out of their apartment, and starts screaming at each other. And at one point at the intersection, probably maybe 20 yards from where we were sitting. There's like 6 guys separated out, just yelling obscenities at each other and everything else. And I went, yeah, until today, it's been a pretty common place to live.
There you go. Alrighty, Steve, we understand since the computer's having issues. Hopefully you can get Wednesday night showing.
Yeah, absolutely, buddy. That'd be great. Great. See you later. And apparently Jonathan likes 2020 grit sandpaper.
Yeah.
20 grit sandpaper.
It's good stuff. All right, so we're going to paint this guy up. I used to play Mech Warrior Online, but I kept having nightmares of Bill Hall and Dragon 500 to Waterloo every Sunday. I'm assuming you might know this guy, Bill Hall.
Yeah.
Okay. 500,000 mechs to Waterloo. Old metal ones or like the plastic?
Yeah, that was back in the old metal days.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, BattleTech was.
It used to be the game.
I enjoyed it, but I played a lot right before Clan Wars came out.
Okay.
Which was their first major expansion. When basically the all the new more advanced mechs came out. So it was pretty good. I played it for a long time. I used to spend a buddy of mine and I used to go to Comic-Con in San Diego every year. And in the evenings after we got done with the Comic-Con, we'd go to Game Empire that had linked PCs so you could play multiplayer games on them. And we'd sit up there and play, some first-person shooter till 4 o'clock in the morning, and then go back to the hotel, sleep for a couple hours, and get up and go to Comic-Con again. That was an entire week of my life every year for a long time.
The old I don't even know if you could get into the San Diego Comic-Con anymore.
They did it. They did it. Most of those cons went virtual this year.
Well, I'm just saying the San Diego one's like really hard.
Oh God, yeah, San Diego was insane.
Jonathan's mentioning a new Kickstarter just shipped. I'm assuming you're talking BattleTech, Jonathan, or are you talking about something else that shipped that was a Kickstarter?
I'm thinking. I think he's talking about BattleTech.
I didn't know they had a Kickstarter out.
I've heard others mention it.
Sweet.
I read a lot of the novels back in the day, but I haven't done a lot with BattleTech in a long time.
Like Greg's saying, they're fun to paint. I've always found them kind of hard to paint because they're kind of terrible models back in the day.
Back when Raul Partha was king of the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you cut your teeth painting Raul Partha and Grenadier models, you can pretty much handle anything now.
Yeah. The stuff we get today is like golden.
Oh,
Jonathan, did you back the BattleTech Kickstarter? Greg's saying there's a year-long waiting list to get into San Diego Comic-Con. Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
I guess they're having problems with it. Like the venue's too small where they're at.
Yeah, they've outgrown the San Diego Convention Center,
which is pretty dramatic, if you ask me.
I was very involved in the GW's first couple years of going to Comic-Con and setting up a booth, and it's a madhouse.
Greg says it's like cave drawing painting real Partha. The old Ralph Parthas.
Good old Ralph Partha. I like the fact when you say it to guys now, the average miniature wargamer now, you mention Ralph Partha and they have no clue who you're talking about.
Yeah. Again, all the old D&D lead miniatures and
yeah. Well, I remember finding out. I used to just could never understand Grenadier because their models, they'd put a model out and it'd be gorgeous, and then in a couple years it would be you get that same model and the one that comes to mind is the Frazetta's Death Dealer. And and it looked horrible. And then I discovered that Grenadier, they would actually, after they did their first production run of a model, they would sell the original green at auction based on, then they could get a serious amount of money based on whoever sculpted it, this, that, and the other. And then, then when they wanted to make another print run of that particular model, they would use a model to make the mold because they no longer had the master.
So there's recycling.
Well, they were just ended up making a copy of a copy.
Yeah.
Because every time you took one of the models out of production and used that to make your mold, a little bit more detail got lost. And so as the model was sold more and more, the quality just went downhill.
And Greg, you just got a single model from the Kickstarter? Or Jonathan, sorry.
A good friend of his has it. A good friend of his bought the Kickstarter and has been sending him pics all day.
Got it.
There's a lot of guys that fondly remember BattleTech. I remember when there was all the when are we going to see a BattleTech movie? They were all excited about it.
Kind of like how we talk about when we're going to see a 40K movie.
Yeah.
Greg used to like playing a game called Badlands. It was a Western sci-fi game. Interesting.
I remember Badlands.
Was it a card game or?
I thought it was a miniature game.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. It's a Western sci-fi miniature game. I thought it was.
Kind of like
Deadlands. Kind of like Deadlands, but in miniature form, not role playing.
What was the game that recently came out? Romeo from BattleTech put it out.
Oh God.
Battle Foam. What was that?
Wild
West Exodus. Yeah.
Wild West Exodus. Yeah.
Still have all the original. Cool. I didn't know, Jonathan. I didn't know you were a BattleTech fan, buddy.
Yeah, learn something new every day.
Yeah. Together, Jonathan and I learned how to drill out a Warhound Titan.
You want to go over the shop or over this house?
I went to the shop. It was just easier for both of us.
I bet it was.
Alright, get my driver all painted up for my orc buggy. Just doing some good contrast on it so he stands out. Jonathan's a mech fan. Very cool.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nope. I am a little bit of a mech fan myself. Trying to find the color I want.
I played Heavy Gear for a little bit when it first came out.
That was an interesting game, wasn't it?
I like the fact that every mech had a track speed and a walking speed.
Yeah.
Because they had if you looked at the models, they actually had a way for them to be like tracks on the feet for mobility when you wanted to move like road speed, that kind of thing. It was actually pretty interesting.
It was a fun little miniature game. You actually dealt cards in your hand to indicate your minis activation, like aces first. Oh, cool. I had the card mechanic. Clan Wolf all the way. Heavy
You talking Badlands?
Yeah, he's filling me in quickly on Badlands. I'm a big fan. I like the card mechanic. It's like dice pulling for bolt action.
Well, Deadlands has a card mechanic as well.
It just a lot of people just don't dig it. I kind of like it. Well, BattleTech recently re-released, if I'm not mistaken, the two-player box set
For
BattleTech. I'm sorry.
oh yeah. I gave Darren a list of all my Space Wolf stuff I'll be needing.
How many sets of the dice are you getting?
This one. You're the crazy dice guy.
Well, they're actually really nice dice for once.
I like the hash mark ones I got. I can't judge dice on how well they roll because all my dice roll like crap.
Yeah,
But I like the slash marks from the last release.
Yeah, these are more a little bit like almost like a shield look.
They're very similar to the Space Wolf dice you got in the Kill Team Space Wolf specific set.
Yeah.
They're nice same stuff. Color. I think they're bigger though. I don't think they're 12 mil. I think they're 16s.
Interesting. Yeah. So, Jonathan, how big was that Kickstarter? Because I never even saw it.
You're talking I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, he's also asking you about. Are you?
Yeah, he asked me a question about the. You're talking about the limited edition Ragnar Blackmane novel,
or the rule book.
I didn't know there was a limited edition rule book for Space Wolves. I know there's a limited edition hardback new Ragnar Blackmane novel coming out, which I asked Darren to try to get for me. But I didn't know there was any other kind of Space Wolf limited edition stuff.
Perfect.
Yeah, so in answer to your question, I'm attempting to.
Like the randomness of card pulling. Which GW went that way, having my Terran.
Yeah, it really depends on what they let Darren order.
Yeah, because wasn't there some limitations on like one of the recent releases? Like he got one set of something like dice or something like that.
Yeah.
There was like some real limitations recently on some of
that. He hasn't said anything to me. Is that released this week or is it pre-ordered this week?
I think it's pre-order this week.
That's what I thought.
All right, my little dude's painted.
Woo! I love painting little dudes.
And then on the base here, I added actually like a little bit of sand, so I'm going to go ahead and dry brush that up real fast. Add some color to the base here. I think I'm going to end up having to paint this wheel. I couldn't get that gray off as much as I'd like. But it happens. Yeah, Jonathan's saying it's pre-order this week.
Yeah, if I can get it, if Darren has enough. Do you know how many you're getting yet, Jonathan? And if you can't talk down the show, shoot me a text later.
Where is my flat earth?
Flat earther, you?
Yes, I am a flat earther.
Greg said it's too bad you couldn't put a snotling inside the wheel like a hamster, like a habit trail for a hamster.
That would be awesome. Just have them run around in a circle. What a life. So yeah, over the weekend we went out and about, just running around town, and we went over by there's a Michael's we went to, and next door to it's a Steinmart,
Right.
and
Oh yeah, I saw,
unfortunately,
yeah, I saw that what you had posted.
yeah, unfortunately they're going out of business, just like a lot of things right now. But they were kind of a high end, weird. I don't know. It's hard to describe what a Steinmart is.
Right.
So, anyways, they're selling all. They had like clearing everything out, and they were selling all those display. And I got that desk. Well, it's actually like a display. Like they put shirts and stuff on, but it was
Right.
like at first we were in the store, and I was like the top piece of it was separate, and that was $75. And then the bottom piece, which is like the desk part, was $125. I'm like, I really don't want to spend that much on it because it's like you know me, I'm cheap.
Yeah.
I'm like maybe I'll come back later when the closer to the end of the sale, maybe they'll be discounted down, trying to clear them out.
Right.
So I started chatting with a lady, and she's like, "Look, we're just here this weekend, then we're done." And then she goes, "And all the stuff is 75% off." I went, "You mean this of the mark price, or is the stuff or is the mark price already the 75% off?" She goes, "No, 75% off the mark price." And I'm like, "Oh dear." So I didn't want.
Honey,
Well, but I got the desk and the top piece for $53.
that's what I'm saying. When she said, it, you're like, honey, guess what we're taking home?
So yeah, so I ended up getting that. So now comes the painful part. I've got to completely dismantle my painting station
Oh God, yeah.
to move my desk in this new desk in. Plus,
Yep.
I have to modify the desk to fit my spot
Yeah. Well, you love
because,
modifying stuff.
well, I do. Because the desk is a few inches taller than my current desk, which is
Right.
lined up perfectly with all of my shelves. So I have to take the wheels off it and lower it down so that it fits and doesn't block my shelves. Mel Gibson, post-apocalyptic. I think he's the old guy in the tanker stuff. Look at the bottle. Okay.
What a great question.
Waterworld. I don't. I can't reference the comment that Greg made because I never watched Waterworld. I guess there was an old guy in the tanker that checked the water levels.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the movie Waterworld?
No, I never watched it.
Basically, it's a post. It's basically Mad Max on the water of sorts.
Oh, okay.
And the main villain, played by Dennis Hopper, is on the Exxon Valdez. That is just this rusted, beat up old Hulk. But it's got oil in the bottom of the hold, which is about probably just below knee deep. And there's a poor guy with a measuring stick that's literally stuck in the hold with the oil to give them measurements whenever they need it. That's his entire life.
Oh.
And that's the guy that Greg is referencing.
Okay.
And at the end of the movie, something a cigarette or a grenade or something goes down the hold into that oil reserve, and he's like, "Oh, thank God!" And the whole thing blows up. It's
And
got
it's over.
Dennis Hopper's in it. It's really kind of campy. I like it because it's just a bad movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just never watched it. I don't know. Maybe it's one of those I'll have to pull out and check out.
It's kind of like Postman on the Water.
Postman on the wall. Okay. So for the
A flare,
weapon
that was
on.
it. You're right, Greg. It was a flare that they threw down the hold.
So for this model, I'm just gonna paint this black to get a base coat down. Then I'll dry brush it silver
Right.
and really make this pop out.
Oh yeah, and by the way, Kevin Costner's character is a mutant and he has gills.
So he swims.
well, it's Waterworld. There's technically no land, and he gets a lot of things that people think are gone, like actual dirt, because he can swim to the bottom where the cities are and bring stuff up because he's a mutant. He's got gills.
Ah,
But that also makes him a marked man because he's a mutant. And I did like the way they placed his gills. They're right behind his ears, which made him easy to hide, which was kind of cool.
for filming purposes, you only had to show them every once in a while.
Well, also just genetically or just for um, adaptation purposes, it made some sense if you actually thought about it. But it is definitely a good bad movie.
Sweet.
There's my my skulls coming along quite nicely.
Look at those teeth, those pearly whites.
I like Waterworld and Postman, Jonathan. They're both good. We're getting our movie conversation quota out of the way.
Yes, yes, we do that on a regular basis.
Be careful though. I'm sure at some point if we don't watch ourselves talking about water-based apocalyptic movies, we'll be doing boats. And then we'll have a show called Jackal Docks.
The Docks.
Jackal Marina. But yeah, check out Waterworld if you get a chance.
Yeah,
Guys.
I'll check it out.
Jack Black's in it. It's kind of cool. But you got to look real closely to find him.
He's not like a main character or anything.
No, he's not.
Well, we see
And Dennis Hopper is just phenomenal in it. He's really, really good.
That's about the time, wasn't he? Didn't he do Speed about the same time?
In the ballpark, yeah.
Because he was amazing in Speed.
Well, I liked him in Speed. I like Speed. That was when I really became a Jeff Daniels fan.
Yeah. Right after Dance, Kevin Costner was reaching too far with Postman and high on his own success with After Dance as well. Okay. I know this because they worked on our cable for 5 days, and my only DVDs to watch were Waterworld and Pitch Black. Oh, gosh. Pitch Black. What an interesting movie that was.
Hey, I love Pitch Black.
But it's still an interesting movie.
It is. It is.
Wasn't there 2 of them, though?
There are 3 total.
Oh, was there 3? Okay, I only know.
And there's probably going to be a 4th soon, my understanding.
Really?
Yeah. They actually Pitch Black was great in the fact that it was unique. It was something new.
Well, wasn't that one of Diesel's kind of bigger movies?
Pitch Black?
Yeah.
It was actually one of his first major hits. I liked it because Claudia Black was in it. I'm a big fan of Claudia Black.
Well, that makes all the difference.
To me, it did.
Love the Riddick series, 3 of them. Okay. So this is all painted up black. I'll let that dry. I kept it yellow underneath.
Right.
So it kind of still has a little bit of color to it, but then I'll get it all dry brush silver when it's fully dried. And then that car, then I got to do the interior, and that car's pretty much done. So.
I liked all 3 of them too, Greg. I liked the first one, Pitch Black, and the last one, Riddick, are my favorites. I enjoy the second one, but but I like them in that order. I like the first one and then the third one are my and then the second one.
So Pitch Black is what led them to Fast and the Furious.
Or did it? I don't know. My favorite Vin Diesel film is Witch Hunter.
Witch Hunter?
Yep.
We're not talking the current series then.
No, that's called The Witcher.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. Witch Hunter is actually a film Vin Diesel did with Michael Caine, based on because Vin Diesel was a big D&D player.
Yep.
It was based on a campaign he ran. I really enjoy it. And Michael Caine's in it, whom I love. I got to think of his name. He played Frodo. His name's eluding me. I'm waiting for someone to bail me out here and type his name on the screen.
Frodo.
Yeah, no.
Ain't gonna be me. Eliza Wood.
Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood. That's it. Oh my God! Yeah. I pulled out a movie reference.
Yeah. Good job.
It doesn't happen often. Usually, I'm like you. I'm like.
I used to be movie quotes for my thing. I could movies were my area of trivia, but my brain has hardened in areas. Oh yeah, that's a good movie. It is a good movie.
What's
and
that?
It's also a name that is killing me.
My favorite Diesel movie was the one where he was a cop and the cartel killed his wife.
Yep.
That would be The Punisher. Oh wait, never mind. That's another movie where the cartel killed his wife. That would be John Wick. Oh wait, never mind. His wife died naturally in that movie.
No, they didn't kill his wife. They killed.
No, she died naturally. Killed his dog. That his wife gave him.
And his beautiful car.
Stole his car. Yeah.
Yeah, and and it was like, holy cow. Oh.
Yeah, there's so many movies where that kind of stuff happens. It's like,
yeah. Well, there's the.
Let me give you full screen, buddy.
A Man Apart. That's exactly what it's called. A Man Apart. There's the skull.
And the gun sticking out of it.
And then there's the rest of the guns coming back into the back. And then we go into the engine.
Sweet.
So I'm going to now do the wheels.
Looking good.
What color to do the wheels? If I want to do them silver or make them a different color. I think I'm leaning towards silver. Yeah, Man Apart's a good movie. I really enjoy Man Apart. I like most of Vin Diesel movies, but my favorite is Witch Hunter. I'm a big Michael Caine fan, big Vin Diesel fan. What I do like, one of the trivia stories about Vin Diesel, when he had, oh God, name's eluding me as well. It's in the second Riddick. It's oh man. She played M in the Daniel Craig Bond films. She plays an air elemental in the Chronicles of Riddick. Drescher? No, that's not her name. Anyway, she's a British actress. She's great. He actually talked her into coming and playing D&D in his house.
Oh, really?
And he did the same thing with Michael Caine during the filming of Witch Hunter. And I kind of think that's cool.
Getting people to play D&D. Can't go wrong with that.
Yep. Kind of, he was playing.
Judi Dench.
Judi Dench. Thank you very much. He was playing D&D in Hollywood long before it was, the thing. Because now everybody's like, oh, look,
I always played D&D.
And everybody's got their own D&D live stream now that is a celebrity.
Yes.
I played when you got ridiculed and beaten.
So did I. I played when my parents thought it was satanic.
Luckily, I lived so rurally, my parents didn't hear much about it. And I made it a point not to tell them.
I started with the old red book, and then I got the blue book, and then you started getting the advanced books.
Yep. I started playing chainmail.
Oh gosh.
And then I started playing D&D. I didn't buy the books because but the game where I played, that was back when the elf and the dwarf were not considered in other races. They were actually character classes. So you could be a fighter, a mage, a cleric, a dwarf, an elf. That's how they worked then. And it was then after that came the red starter box.
Yeah.
So
you were pre-red starter box.
Yes.
And then we used to get the magazine Dragon.
Dragon.
You know, that was always just a great magazine to get ideas from and stuff.
I'm on the Helen Mirren. Mine is here I go again. She played Galadriel
for Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
You mean Steven Tyler's daughter?
No. I can't think of her name. Come on, Jonathan, bail me out, buddy. That's who I have. Helen Mirren and her are my two major crushes, and Sandra Bullock, of course.
Wow, yeah. I think Sandra Bullock's gotten better with age.
I would agree.
Like, she was cute when she was younger, but I think she's gotten a lot better with age. Kate something.
Kate. Oh. Something. I keep thinking Kate Mulgrew, but no, that's Captain Janeway. And my phone is across the room. Blanchett. Kate Blanchett. Thank you. Woohoo! Major crush on Kate Blanchett. And it's also, their acting is just, I love the movies, their acting is just phenomenal. My favorite scene in Lord of the Rings is when Galadriel basically is tempted by the ring when Frodo offers it to her.
Oh, now I know who you're talking. When you say first, I thought you were thinking the other. I know who you're talking
Instead
about.
Instead of the Dark Lord, they shall have a queen. It's awesome.
Yeah.
If
my wife was here, she would be pulling my nerd credit right now.
Huh?
If my wife was here, she'd be pulling my nerd credit.
Well, I kind of like saying it. I don't get a chance to nerd out too much. Vroom, look at those wheels.
Sweet. So on Friday or Saturday is our 21st wedding anniversary.
All right, good, cool.
And we're going to Fleming's,
right?
Which is a fancy dancy restaurant.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have our first tomahawk steak.
Ooh.
We have never had a tomahawk steak.
What exactly makes a tomahawk steak a tomahawk steak?
It's got the big old bone in it. It's just a big cut of beef.
Uh-huh.
But it's got the big old bone, and the way they serve it up, they cut it in slices while it's still on the bone.
Oh man, that sounds good.
That's what we're hoping. But since our trip to Disneyland is canceled for the most part,
yeah,
we decided to go all out for dinner that night.
Damn it! Now I'm hungry.
Sorry, buddy. I couldn't find one finished small enough, so I need to get unfinished ones. So much more work. Oh, the plinth. Okay, it helps if I read all of his comments. And my favorite scene was when the trolls broke down the gate of the castle. Yes, trolls.
They brought a cave troll.
Just one. Still one of my favorite games from GW.
Oh, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I thought it was very well done. I really did.
Yeah, it was a great game.
One of the things that I did like about the game, it was written in a way you could replicate those heroes on the battlefield.
Yes. They
Because,
felt like they were the heroes.
yeah, that fight at the end of Fellowship, where they're fighting the Uruk-hai,
Yeah.
you just can't replicate that in the game. Even when Warhammer was accused of being character hammer, you could not replicate that kind of a heroic battle like that on the miniature table. And I thought they did a really good job of making these epic, larger-than-life characters from the Lord of the Rings universe, making them live up to what they are in the literature on the page.
Yeah. I think they did a fabulous job.
I agree. I think it's one of the best game systems Christian's ever written.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate because it went through some hard times when they changed some things up, changed the rules. A lot of people stopped playing it.
Yeah.
So our community kind of died out.
Yeah, it is.
So and even though they've re-released it, that community just hasn't gotten back in.
I've got the last box set with the Riders of Rohan, all them stuff in it that came out. I got that in my closet. I just gotta get to it someday.
They have Cave Troll, yes. That game was
They have a Cave Troll. So I may actually finish this tonight.
Well, I'm not going to finish this tonight. I'm going to get it all glued together, though, and have it kind of looking right. So I went with just putting a tube in the front of the thing, of the sidecar, as we're going to call it now.
Right.
And I'll just paint that black, and that'll just be a machine gun.
Sweet.
Just keep it simple. Bikes don't have a lot of weapons, so I don't want to get carried away. I was thinking 2 at first, but I thought 2 might be just a little too much. So.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, I gotta fight a cave troll. That's not gonna be good. I'm surprised we haven't seen Tim tonight.
Tim got a kitten today. So I think Tim is, and it's not just a kitten, it's like a young kitten.
Right.
So I think he's busy.
I managed to get my cat to the vet finally. He had a horrible, horrible cough that I was convinced was going to be lung cancer.
All right. Because of smoking?
He's just got a bad lung infection. There's a lot of games I used to love to play that aren't available anymore.
Well, for you, the whole other challenge is just having anyone to play.
Yeah, I think what I miss the most, and I think is one of the reasons why my gaming started, my miniature war gaming started with basically just getting together at a friend's house and playing 1,500 points, 2,000 points, just the two of you, or maybe 3 or 4 of you at the most.
Right.
And it was just this relaxed, have a good time evening. You know, we'd order pizza, we'd sit and drink, you know, show off our paint jobs. One of us, a lot of times I'd go over and take my paints because Tom and a friend of his were playing. So I just sit at the table next to the table they were playing at and just paint.
Right.
That kind of stuff. So it was just that, and I haven't had an evening like that. I mean, I did it at Tim's a couple times where I would go to Tim's and we play, which was kind of nice. Just that kind of a home, just sit and play kind of environment.
The garage hammer type stuff.
Yeah. That's why I don't react well to playing in a store where everybody's walking around, everybody's going to be an armchair general, and or you've got a guy who hasn't realized what you're doing yet, and then a spectator walks up and goes, "Oh yeah, watch out, he's getting ready to do this to you."
Yeah,
it's like,
your
really?
Plan.
Really?
What you used to call that? Kibitzing.
Kibitzing. It's an old euchre term my mom used to use whenever me and her would play euchre with friends. It's basically two people conspiring against a third, meaning you're supposed to be playing one person, but you end up playing 2 to 3 because they're kibitzing.
That's no fun. I shared that with somebody, and they were like, "What's that?" And I said, "Yeah, it's something Jeff's always." I think it was Jonathan and I were talking.
Might have been kibitzing.
I was like, "Yeah, Jeff calls it kibitzing."
Look it up. Look it up. It's a card term. He's playing with his wood.
He said wood.
He said Jonathan's playing with his wood. No, the scene when Gandalf gives the old men of Gondor stand and fight, and 3 armored. Oh yeah, that is a good time. It's like, oh look,
come in swinging.
Uh-oh. Those are trolls. Oh no.
Trolls.
Oh.
All right, so this is getting there.
I have to put a little bit of gloss on this area of the model that is basically part of the color of the car, because I glossed up the car, so I don't want it to look too out of place.
Yeah, I like how the gloss car turned out.
Well, I really like that one you built for Outpost for Darren. I think it looks sexy.
Yeah, I got to get. Well, I'll have to. I want to finish them all. He wanted like 10 cars, so still got a ways to go. That's just the 4th one I built for him.
Jonathan, you haven't worked in a game shop until you're picketed by the local church. You call me when that happens, buddy, then you and I can talk.
Yes.
Waterloo Games North had a picket line in front of them for quite a while.
Oh, yeah.
Remember one other time when I was working at Hobbyland in Columbus, Ohio, we used to sell those pre-painted dragons that had a crystal of some kind on the base. They were made of pewter and they were pre-painted. And they didn't look bad. They were kind of cool. And I had a lady come in and she's walking around the shop. And she's, they're having a good time and looking at stuff and are, picking up models and kites. And the person she's with is checking out. And we had a big glass display case on the front countertop that had all these pewter dragons in it. And she started freaking out when she saw these dragons. And she goes, "Oh my gosh, these are dragons. Dragons are evil. These are evil." And she starts making a religious connection to the dragons.
Really?
And the fact that they were evil. And she starts going, "These are evil. These are evil. Are these evil? These are evil dragons. Are these evil?" And she kept saying it over and over and over again. And she finally made eye contact with me. And she goes, "These are dragons. Are they evil?" And I went, "No, ma'am, they're pewter." and she didn't know how to respond. And her friend just laughed, and he grabbed her by the arm, and they walked out. But I was like, going, "Holy cow! I mean, what the heck? What just happened?"
They're imaginary.
No, ma'am, they're pewter.
That's funny. People get really weird about some stuff.
Yeah, they do. They do. Well, I had a lady walk into Waterloo North, and she brought her son with her, and she told me that her son wanted to get into gaming, but she absolutely positively would not allow him to play D&D. Under no circumstances could he pick up a D&D book. It was not going to happen.
Okay.
So I showed her where all the RPG books were. I showed her the danger zone, where to stay away from. I showed her where the D&D books were. And her and her son walked around the shop for about, and this just lets you know how oblivious parents are sometimes. She's walking around the shop, and finally they come up to the register, and he hands me a book. And I go, "You want this one?" And he's like, "Yeah." And so I, of course, look at Mom. And she goes, "Is that a D&D book?" And I said, "No, ma'am, it's not a D&D book." And she goes, "Then we'll take that one."
All right.
I said, "You're sure?" And she goes, "Yeah, we'll take that one." I said, "Okay." And I started noticing a grin appearing on the kid's face. And I at that point, I was like, I'm not going to get involved. So I rung them up and sent them on their way.
What book was it?
Realms of Chaos 2, Slaves to Darkness. I just said, "Yep, okay." There you go.
Apparently, she didn't even look in the book.
She didn't even look at the cover would have been enough to put off some warning signs. She didn't even look at the cover. She was just told by
D&D's
somebody
evil.
that the D&D was evil, and that under no circumstance would be playing D&D.
But, Realms of Chaos is okay.
Greg said lady did that to him once, and he showed her all the Call of Cthulhu sections. Well, the cool part about Call of Cthulhu, Greg, is as you learn more, the more you learn, the crazier you get. So therefore, the more you learn, the more you forget, because you're now crazy.
And you can't remember nothing.
You can't remember any of it, really. Well, I think I'm going to see how this thing looks assembled now. Ooh, it's looking kind of sexy. Kind of liking it. Bow, 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 bow.
Well, time kind of got away from me.
Why?
Because it's like 8:15.
No, it's not. It's 11:15.
Wow, it's 8:15 in Arizona, buddy.
Oh yeah.
I'm getting this guy wrapped up. I just had some challenges with it because that primer came flying off, which just kind of made everything kind of messy.
So,
but it's looking good.
You bought an unfinished plinth, didn't you, Didn't you, Jonathan? Sad little man.
Well, I think he needed like certain sizes.
Yeah, but you can find them pre-done. I just don't want to spend all that time on a miniature, then have to spend as much time sanding and standing a plinth. So what do you think?
I love it. Those wheels look fantastic. The skull's awesome.
So I'm going to glue this sucker together, and I'm going to color it done.
I pretty much got my buggy done where I want it. I need to add some washes to it. But I'm quite content with how this turned out. It's quite unique. But I just don't think I'm going to have time to do the wheels on this. So I'm going to save these wheels for next week.
Okay.
Because I want to show people how to do the axles, and it's going to take me some time.
Right.
And I don't think I'll have the time to do it tonight.
Well, that will work. You can
so I'm
do
going to
that.
save that. Because I like to have a few projects going on, so that way I can let stuff dry. And
I just saw a mistake.
What'd you do?
Look at the wheels on the dualies.
Why is one further apart?
There you go.
What'd you do?
I made it too far apart.
Can you fix it?
Yeah, I can fix it.
Right.
It's an easy fix. It's not that hard to fix. I just didn't notice it until, I got to the I'm going to finish this part, and then I was like, oh, wait a minute. Bum, 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 bum.
So I'm gonna get this dry brushed up, and then I'm just gonna probably call it a night.
All right, buddy. But you do remember this conversation.
What?
When you're wood staining and stuff's not working and you're sanding and you're staining and you're staining and you're sanding and you end up spending more time on the plinth than you do on the model, we'll see how rewarding that is. But I hope you enjoy it. That's all I care about. As long as you enjoy it,
Yeah.
that's all that matters. But I've been down that road, and for me, hell on earth. You can tell me the truth. Mike talked you into it, didn't he?
I didn't talk him into it.
Because Mike's the devil.
Well, that's true, but I didn't talk him into it.
You just made a subtle comment. You know, I'd probably paint my own because that would be more mine. Yeah, I know how that mind of yours works. And now you sit at home secretly laughing. He bought it.
Poor Jonathan.
What is that good catch, Hefe? What did I catch?
Your wheels.
My wheels. My wheels like, oh, man.
That's what I'm going to assume he meant.
Annoying. Of course, it wouldn't be my project if I didn't have something last minute go harebrained wrong.
It does work for you.
There we go. There we go. There she goes.
Oh, hey, this is looking pretty cool.
What is?
This engine on the back of this.
I like putting engines in the back.
Yeah, I know.
That's where they should go.
No. That's not where they belong. Well, I got this little wire detail running down the top of it, so that's going to give me some red to add to the car.
Yeah.
Just some color. Or maybe I'll do copper. Copper would work. But where did I put my copper? I hate it when I can't find my colors. There it is.
We haven't heard from. Is Adam still here? We haven't heard
Adam
from Adam
never
all
showed
night.
up. Yeah.
He was here, wasn't he, at the beginning?
I never saw him log in.
I thought he did.
I never saw him. I could have missed him, but
I'm actually scrolling back to the top of the chat.
he last week he had a work meeting.
It was Raymond I saw.
Raymond
David,
was here for
David
a little
popped in. Raymond popped in. Steve.
And Cecil has just joined us.
Hey, Cecil.
I'm having a hard time getting this copper painted to mix up. Hey. Cecil's in the house.
Cecil.
Right when we're getting ready to call it quits. All right. don't need to have a lot of extra color.
Well, I hope. I'm really. You remember how on after the Imperial Academy, I was convinced I was never doing another how-to video.
Mm-hmm.
I have to really thank Don for sending me the
Encouragement you needed.
well, he didn't watch it when it was live. He watched it later and came back and said, "Man, thank you for doing those," and made me. So it went so bad. I was like, this is horrible. I
didn't think it was that bad.
I was having such a hard time. It was making me crazy.
See, so you're remodeling your house, or you're remodeling somebody else's house?
Ooh.
Yeah, it was a good class. Like, it was very educational. I lied. I decided I was going to paint the headlights. Oh, cool. Remodeling a house is always fun.
It's always a lot of fun.
It can be. We're just repainting ours, so. Be right back. So I'm just laying down a silver base because I'm going to do that blue, that watered down blue look to it afterwards.
Right.
Gives it kind of that metallic sheen. Full remodel, paint, flooring, cabinets, etc. That's a lot of work, Cecil.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. And you are the man to do it.
Yeah, tell me about it, buddy. You can do it. Anybody can.
My wife's 50th birthday gift. Oh, cool.
That was kind of nice.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to get my wife for her 50th birthday. All right. Let that dry. All right, I guess I'm going to show off what I got done tonight.
Let me see it.
And kind of take it from there. So I'm going to take full screen, buddy.
Go right ahead, man.
So this is the Michigan car that I've been working on. And this is where I did the crazy big engine. So
Right.
I just kind of painted it black and just to get a good base coat to it. Dry brush it silver. Only color I'm adding to it's that copper wire. I think you can see it right there.
Right.
That's it. So that's going to be kind of left alone. And then I'm doing the headlights.
Right.
So I got those painted with a silver base, and then I'll get the blue over them. After that, all I got to really do is paint up the little dude that sits inside the car, which will take, maybe a minute because there's not a lot of detail to it. He's wearing a big old helmet.
Right.
So I'll get that done, and then this car will be done.
Woo.
And then here's the, as Greg likes to call it, the man mangler. Got the engine in. That's a big car. It is a big car horn. And when I honk it, it's going to cause you one hazard token. Got the engine mounted in. Got the sidecar mounted on. As you can see from the side, you can actually see the guy in there with some pretty big contrast.
Right.
And I just did a tube for one machine gun. I think that's sufficient because this is going to run as a motorcycle.
Right.
So I don't want to get too carried away. And you can actually see the guy through the glass. So I think that's kind of neat. So I just need to get that washed, some dry brushing done to it, kind of weather it up a little bit, chip it up because this thing probably isn't the most stable of vehicles.
Right.
So it's probably going to get bashed up a little bit. But I'm happy with how that turned out. This was one of those projects that's been sitting in the back of my head for a long time and something I just wanted to get done. So
Yeah, I can understand that.
I'm happy with it. So we'll see how it goes. And I like the concept. It's just a big wheel of rolling. I live for hazard tokens. We all live for hazard tokens. So that's pretty much my progress.
I will understand more what that means when I play the game.
Yes. All right, you ready to show off your work?
Sure.
All right, I'll give you full screen here.
Ba-dum.
Wheels
There
are
he
all
is.
painted and properly adjusted.
Let me get the light down here so I can get better lighting. There he is.
Yeah, I like that. What'd you dry brush those wheels with?
Just some Dawnstone.
Dawnstone?
GW
That's like
Dawn.
a light gray?
Yep.
All right.
Just to kind of bring out the texture.
Sweet.
And the two machine guns in the front.
Digging it.
Your smoke launcher, your launchers in the rear. I just looked down and go, I should probably paint
Oh, you
those.
didn't do any of that yet?
I did. I had forgot it was there, so I'll probably work on that a little bit tonight after the show.
All
So
right.
I'll throw some pictures up on the in the community section.
All right. Beautiful.
But there is the dynamic dually.
Dynamic dually. All right, I'm going to take you off full screen, buddy.
All right, Ed.
Oh, well, I had a great time, as usual. I love getting my chances to work on gasoline cars. There you are.
Ta-da.
Ta-da! So I'll get these cars wrapped up, and then I'm going to get this Mustang. I want to do a lot of stuff to it, so I'm looking forward to getting this one done. But I'll get the axles on this next week. So
Right.
excited to see pick up Link
That'll be
for the
awesome.
first time. Sweet.
I am now officially up to 5 cars. 5.
You're working on it, man.
Yeah. Well, the Bel Air, whatever the first part of that is,
Big Air Bel Air.
Big Air. It's going to be the badass Bel Air.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to get that blade down. I'm going to work on the blade a little bit. That was kind of a mock-up I did real quick.
Maybe give it some thickness, like maybe flare it out a little bit or something.
Some what?
Give it some thickness because it's just a thin piece of plastic card.
Well, it's actually, in the grand scheme of things, if you actually look at it in scale, that's a 12-inch I-beam that the blade's coming up and out of.
Sweet. Well, that'll work.
Yeah, so the blade would be about 6 inches in width in game terms, scale-wise.
That'll be awesome.
But I need to, like I said, I did it real quick. I literally wanted to get a mock-up done for the show,
Sure.
but I think the finished product's going to be a little different.
Well, very cool.
I like the dual hood scoops though. So
I think that looks awesome. I can't wait to see you get it painted.
yeah, we'll get it sorted out.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, man. You're gonna end up doing a bunch of cars, and you haven't even played the game yet.
Haven't even played the game, but I have decided on some other stuff from listening to a couple comments in the beginning that I'm going to do to it.
Uh-oh.
So it should be pretty cool.
Cool. Well, all right. Well, thank you everybody for watching and hanging out with us tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been fun as usual, and Wednesday night, Wolf Den.
Yes.
You, maybe Darren.
Ooh, I'm sorry. I just noticed that Jonathan bought Scale 75 paints this week.
Oh yeah.
And some Turbo Dork. Yeah, you, me, and I'm fairly confident Darren's going to be on.
Okay.
That'll
It's
be
going to
really
be our kind of wrapping up this week, Oktoberfest.
Yeah, my final wrap up. I'll probably finish it up or show it finished on next Saturday. But Wednesday, I'll definitely be working on it. So
Yeah, I've got to go through. I've got to really think about the jaw piece I did because I checkered it all up. It looks great with the checkering.
Yeah.
But like Cecil mentioned and others have, it's black and yellow and it blends too much with the rest of the model.
So you're going to add some white to it?
We were actually debating red.
That'll
Cecil
work.
mentioned red, and I'm like,
Yeah.
red might actually work. So
Yeah. That'll work.
I still need to get it all. I want to finish up some other weathering projects because I want to do the oil washes and
Right.
streaking on the faceplate.
Right.
And then I'm going to kind of kick around, but I'll probably end up painting the other side of those checkers like a red or maybe like a faded red or something like
Right.
that. So, but yeah, I just
Cool.
just need it to pop out more.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah. So, but outside of that, that's about it. You got anything?
No, that's about it.
All right. We'll see
Glad to be
everybody.
back.
Yeah, you're back on a normal schedule. So
Yeah, absolutely.
life is good.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we'll see y'all later and have a great week. Wednesday night, be back
Yeah.
for the Wolf Den. So,
It'll be awesome.
talk to you guys later.